One thing that really spoke to me about it was it's a big part of it's a family in recovery and their own interaction. It's not just one guy. It seeps into everyone's life.
I describe the movie as a family drama before I do a boxing movie. I mean, it's easier to just call it a boxing movie. People know exactly what it is, but I'm with you. I think that family dynamic that he had, what a strange relationship he had with his father, who like acted like a trainer for most of his life, pushing him to get in the ring. And then the unusual relationship he had with Aaron Eckhart, the Kevin Rooney character. It's like trainers and boxers are, historically they have a close relationship, but they don't move into each other's homes, become part of their families. So there was all this really great, unusual stuff to work with.
He's a very collaborative director, so there was a lot of, give and take about how did you feel, what did you think, let's try it this way. He was very easy to work with.
I read it and I was like, man, this is really an amazing script. This character is so, badass. I don't know why you sent it to me. And then, because I just felt like it was an older character that I wasn't getting an opportunity to play that at that point in my career. And so then I met with Ben, and I think I was so casual that because I didn't think I was going to get in. And I told him that I heard Boiler Room was great, even though I hadn't seen it, which he still busts my balls about.
Vinny is not like the regular boxing movie guy, the humble guy that makes his way up. This guy is a charismatic, magnetic, energetic character who lives life according to him. And it's just thrilling to watch. And even it's thrilling to meet Vinny because he's all in all the time. It's great to see a comeback story. It's great to see a story about a guy who dreams big, who breaks his neck, has a halo on his head, and gets back in the gym and becomes champion of the world. That's why they call this the greatest comeback story in sports.
It's such an amazing family dynamic, and then I heard from Ben Younger that he doesn't do rehearsals.
Yeah, we did not rehearse. He really, I think it's in the casting. And plus, the detail of the set and the costume and there was just instant camaraderie between us all. I felt very maternal towards Miles the minute I met him, which I knew I would. I had just seen Whiplash, and he so reminded me of my son. And, I just thought, oh, I could definitely be his mom.
It's not as romantic as I think a lot of people think. You think that you get together and you live in a house and all these things, and that happens sometimes. But on this one, Ben just cast really great actors. So Aaron showed up. I hadn't seen him in 8 months. He showed up 40 pounds overweight and shaved his head and was doing a Staten Island accent. And then Katey showed up and just was so real, had the accent and everything, and just seemed so maternal. Kieran Hines, he's this Irishman. He's a very gentle person, and then he just transforms into this like larger-than-life Italian, father. And so it just all felt very real to us as actors with the sets and the wardrobe and, all of it. So we were just able to really kind of live in those moments.
I did want to ask about Aaron Eckhart because he's incredible and
Disappears.
he's not somebody I would think of playing that role.
Yeah, and then you see him in the role and you don't know it's him. I mean, it's there's a few people that Ted Levine's in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, people don't realize Buffalo Bill plays Lou Duva. I like. Aaron and Ted are not that different. Aaron's obviously much more of a leading man, but he would describe himself as a character actor, which Ted certainly is. It's fun taking actors who you think and you're like, oh, I know what this guy's shtick is, and then putting them in a role where they can be something completely else.
As I get older, it's a little bit more daunting because it stays with you a little longer and stretches you out like a balloon. I've done it before in my career, but it's good for the character. That's who the character is. I always like a challenge as an actor, especially if a director comes to me and challenges me and says, we're going to make something great and you're going to be great in this. How can I turn that down? I mean, it doesn't happen. It's not the norm.
How do you know that going in when you're casting people, that they're able to get to that place?
I mean, you don't really know, right? Especially if you're asking for such a big change. But I think when you see real honesty in their prior work, you just assume, you pray that they're gonna do likewise for you. And they did exactly that for me, and then some.
I think Ben said something along the lines of, do you want to be great? I know for Ben hadn't made a movie in 12 years. Whiplash hadn't come out or anything. I hadn't really shown anything of that those kind of stakes, and certainly not a part like that would require that much, kind of testosterone and masculinity. And so Ben challenged all of us. He really did. And at the same time, he believed in us, and he gave us a lot of freedom, to explore these guys.